Hello, welcome everyone to Firefly Moon Tarot. This is the full moon, cold moon reading in Gemini for the moon sign of Virgo. Just a little bit about the cold moon. So the cold moon this year, which happens this time of year, is going to be in Gemini. Gemini is the twins. In this case, the full moon in the cold moon time period is referred to as the storyteller's moon. So storyteller moon gives warning about the two sides of the Gemini, one which seeks to create their stories through the emotional feelings, the expectations and hopes based on emotions in general, which of course the moon rules emotions, versus Gemini's intellectual side based on facts and reality and institution. So this is a time of warning of not letting that become imbalanced. Don't let the emotions overrun the story. It can create a runaway train that it may be hard to stop it or divert it to the correct tracks. This can be in a professional capacity, a personal capacity, a individual capacity. You may tell yourself lies about yourself or create stories about yourself that create a false narrative that leads to more detrimental either behavior or outcomes down the line once this Gemini moon retreats and we move into the next cycle. Now I apologize in advance for getting this out a little late. It takes hours to get just one video kind of edited and so uploaded one day. It took me pretty much half a day. So that's a little bit about. This is also a time where you have to watch your words. Now, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is the god of messengers of the senses. So your senses could be extremely heightened during this time. This is sound. This is like physical responses, tastes, and the such. So smells also, a lot of that comes through taste. And therefore, this may be a time where obviously you're more touchy around certain items, subjects, smells, or taste. I mean, the seasons or the holidays will bring that along anyways. But the fact that, there's a lot of culture rooted in holiday seasons that can bring these forth. And it is reminding you that even though the senses are heightened at this time, and since Gemini is a messenger of communication as well, that it is a warning to watch not just your tone, but your words. Try to keep your secrets close to the chest. If you are feeling an overabundance of a need to just speak, and you don't know if those words are going to be reciprocated or in a safe environment, find that safe environment. Whether it be writing your thoughts down on a piece of paper, or recording them onto your phone or some app, or speaking them, with an individual in person. Either way, all those things need to be done in a safe community, a safe place. So if you record it on your phone, don't let it be stored to the cloud. Delete it from the cloud and purge it. If you write it down try not to write it down in a journal that you keep, burn it and send it out into the universe. Let the universe deal with that, so it's not something that you continually have to revisit as time goes forward. And if it's verbally, it definitely either someone in your literal family that you can trust, someone in your soul family that you can trust, and just take them out for a drink or call them up. Someone recently called me up who's very close to me that she had to release some very personal things about herself that she didn't want to just let out into the environment or with a person or people involved. So this gave her a safe place to kind of work through those issues. Now, it's also, if you are in a relationship, this doesn't apply for you, but if you are starting out in a relationship, or, the holidays brought you together with someone, or it's a holiday romance, this is not a time to put labels on anything that you have. If you kind of started dating someone and it was hot and bothered to begin with, this is not a time to move in together or make decisions about moving in together. And if you're in a relationship and you need to have a conversation about something in your life, something that's really important to you, you can, you can have this conversation, but the closer you are to Gemini or anything that rules the moon, like Pisces or Cancer, be very specific and clear about what your intention is to get out of the conversation and what your expectations are in the conversation. Because like I said earlier, if you go in with expectations based on your, your feelings or your ideals about how you want them to respond, instead of just letting the responses form naturally, you're already setting yourself up with these limitations. Basically, it is going to do nothing but let you down and create more issue. This could be making lists and writing things down of what is absolutely what the real root of the issue is. Like, because sometimes these conversations that need to be had can be framed by like external, like the peripheral version of, or peripheral problems, where really what you're trying to weed out is that central problem that's causing you to focus on these peripheral problems. So work through it. Again, these conversations with people may help getting that central issue, focused in on. As well, during this time, because Gemini is also known as the, master multitasker, which they can be. This is warning you at this time. Yes, this is a good time for multitasking, but this is also with, the full moon and the emotions, kind of boiling up, and it's kind of, they've been working themselves into this one confined space as the cycle of the moon has protracted, that now is not the time to let, because you could get distracted by the emotions and stuff like that. Like, there are certain things that you need to focus on, not to get yourself too spread thinly through those multitasking, that it causes more of a problem. So the distractions of what you think you have to do, but you don't really have to do. And it's not a distraction that you may be aware of, is what I'm trying to say. It's not like you are, watching TV or somebody's talking in the background. No, these are things that you've set up for yourself that really are just embodying the performativity of a distraction, but you think they're actually worthwhile. So make sure you understand what's actually really important to get done during this holiday season. So that is just a little bit about what the Gemini full moon is, this cold moon, and how to work the energies, understanding the energy, because again, to work through it. Now, since if you haven't checked out my video about how to utilize the energy of my videos, I recommend it. I'll pin it in the description. And because I've created this channel so you understand the energies around it, so you can do self-work to better adjust and adapt to the energies. Because again, the moon is all about adaptability and how we adapt to that ego-ness. So again, thank you for joining. I am going to move on to the channeled messages, which I just got a couple. Actually, basically, the main one was that came through in a dream is this kind of, I guess, goes along with distractions. Be wary of, it happens every year, of holiday travel. And by that, some of you are literally, it's going to be a home alone kind of situation. You're going to end up running late, or something's going to end up running late, or whether it's the flight itself or something. And no matter what, as someone who has traveled a lot, the only advice I can get is once you're in the car, or once you're on that bus, or once you're on that train to the airport, or once even you leave your house, your door, that is an existed reality that cannot be altered. You cannot make the traffic disappear. You cannot make the train go faster. You cannot make the bus skip a stop. So at that point, when you realize if you are running late, the best thing to do is to accept that there is nothing you can do about it, and to simply adapt. And again, that's that moon energy, that adaptability energy. Because getting worked up, if you use this as a distraction and your anxiety starts going high, basically what it's just going to lead to is more things going wrong. You're going to end up forgetting one of your pieces of luggage at check-in, or you're going to rush to the boarding and someone's going to be left behind, there's just numerous things that you're going to end up going into the wrong gate. when you should have gone left. Like if you're looking at the board and you're in a rush and you think you see your boarding gate on that line, but accidentally your eye reverts to the one below it and you go running in the wrong direction because you're in such a hurry that you're not checking. In this case, the slow way is the fast way. Accept your position of where you at and just hope that things will work out, because the more you calm down, actually the more likely it is that you're not going to be as late as your mind is telling you or trying to convince you that you are. So simply just relax. The other kind of message that I got was the fact that I was drawn specifically to use the Muse Tarot. Now I had all my cards out and all my gems out last night in the full moon to recharge an energy, and when I got them back, the Muse was calling to me. So there may be something about, because this one is inspired by finding inspiration in something or something, and poetry is a big part of that. Now, I also got the story of, your card, which is Virgo, the Hermit, and in this this deck, the Hermit is ruled by Emily Dickinson, which is all about, she's a famous poet, so poetry. So for some reason, I feel like poetry, whether that's music, again, I mentioned earlier, the senses and sound, you may need to listen to your favorite, mix or something that you put together years ago that you haven't listened to in a while, or your best holiday mix, or you may need to get out a poetry book, or you may need to work through things through the act of poetry, something. But poetry came through. So when I'm called to read a specific poem that the author wrote about this deck, I will. So those are the messages that came through. Definitely, if somebody's traveling, or people are definitely going to be traveling this season, obviously, it really just a warning. Don't let the distractions and the anxiety overrule you as you head through, because it'll just cause more problems. All right, thank you very much. That was the channeled messages. I am now moving on to the I forgot to mention, as I see this, there's something in a story that I have to tell everyone, and especially since it showed up right here. Now, I was out on my balcony before I started all these readings, and because there was something across that was distracting me, and I had this tarot deck in my hands, and I knew as soon as I was shuffling them, I didn't even finish the thought that I was going to drop one, that I dropped one. So I had to go down to the neighbors below to get it. And I had used an example. I just picked a random card as an example card to go down and get it. And eventually I got the card back. He was nice enough to double check a second time. And turns out that the card that I got in this deck was the Moon in Gemini, which is designated with a specific word, illusions. And the card that I used as an example that I noticed was the Seven of Wands in this deck, the Seven of Inspirations, which is Mars in Leo. So also just a general message during this moon in Gemini, you need to embody a lot of that Mars in Leo energy by creating protective barriers around you and like healthy boundaries of not letting things get to you, so you can actually get through this season, this high emotion, high anxiety, high distractive energy season, and so you can get through it easier or healthier. So that message, obviously, I almost forgot to mention it, and the cards, the spirits were telling me right away, no, don't forget. Okay, so I have already cleansed your space. I've already shuffled the cards. I am now just going to go into the general reading. So thank you, spirits, guides, guardians. What do my Virgos need to know for their highest good? What do my Virgos need to know during this full moon in Gemini season for their highest good, spirits? Please guide me to the messages. Oh, also, oddly enough, there was a lot of stickiness. Every time I got to the third quarter of shuffling the deck, they just kind of all collided. And I mean, this was a constant issue. I mean, I had to even ask Spirit why exactly that was happening. But, and I said, okay, just give me one clean shuffle, Spirit, please. One clean shuffle. It took a really long time to shuffle this deck. Now, and I don't know why it was being so, what is it when you have a adversarially, why it was being so adversary to me during this time, especially since they were very clear about using this deck. Now, I didn't, because I haven't used this deck in a reading before, because it's really just positive energy, and I don't want it to be all about just positive energy or specifically target at finding the inspiration. But obviously some of you need to find your inspiration at this time, because that's what it's telling me. So far what we have out in the north is the 10 of Voices. We have the Fool in the east. We have the World, Cosmos in the south. And we have the 3 of Inspiration in the west. And these two wanted to come out specifically together. Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to have to do it this way. Okay. It's going to take up more space. That is the interesting thing about this deck, that the Muse deck is always, it's horizontal, not vertical. No, it's vertical, not horizontal. I'm vertically challenged, so it's horizontal. Yes. I always have to play that game. All right. Now, as we're moving forward, we have, here's I was figuring the reason that Spirit had me look up the Hermit specifically, and Emily Dixon, is because the Hermit was going to come out. So it has, which doesn't surprise me. This is your card, Virgo. So far in the middle, we have the 9 of Inspiration, the Muse of Emotions, the 4 of Inspiration in reverse, as well as the 9, and the Hermit. All right, Spirit, final messages. Please guide me for Virgo's highest good. Thank you very much, Spirit. Thank you very much, Spirit. Please, last messages for Virgo moons, please. Please help guide me. Oh, that was, I don't know when that turned over, but it obviously wanted to see me to see it now. Some of you may have noticed earlier when it turned over, and you're like, oh my gosh, no, there's a card there. Don't forget to pull it out. Well, that's where it wanted to be. See? All right, Spirit. Last card for our Virgo moons. Thank you very much, Spirit. All right. Oh, let's see what's actually on the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. So I'm going to keep that energy out. So there is very strong cosmic energy around you. Very strong yang energy about you. Which could be that that kind of like, I'm always active, go, you know, just that the dream I had where you're just in a rush and you're just doing it and it's just causing more problems. So you're getting in your own way. Maybe this could be the very low vibrational energy of getting of the Emperor, as in getting in your own way, as your ego is controlling you right now. All right. So the last cards that we have drawn here in the north, we have the Star. Ooh, in the east, nice. I see the Hanged Muse. And then we have the 5 of Materials. Interestingly enough, Spirit also had me look up the 5 of Materials card. Really nice story. A beautiful story right before we started. And the Knight of Voices. So this was obviously a message that came through. Both these cards are pretty strong messages that came through. We'll see if this also... I have a feeling that this is going to come up in the Sun card portion of the reading, because this is the Moon, and then I will draw 12 cards, one for, you know, each zodiac sign, and it is the representative of your, whatever your sun sign is. You will go to that reading. Okay, so interestingly enough, I thought I wanted to start with the Star, the Hanged Muse, the 5 of Materials, and the Knight of Voices, but I'm feeling like this is the how, or the This is the how I'm feeling. So I'll go back to the beginning. And we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas. There's pretty much 2 in almost every pile. And I mean, if you will include this underneath, it is 6. So here we have the 10 of Voices with the Fool, the World Cosmos. Man, you know, and this must be that it is the end of the year, but pretty much every sign has gotten the World card. Now, I get it's the end of the year. We're all looking forward to a cycle ending or starting something new. Because, I mean, the Fool starting something new, literally the very first card in the deck, you know, or in the series, to the last card in the series. So start and finish. So maybe where you started this year versus where you finished this year. I mean, what I'm seeing, I mean, the 10 of Voices is definitely is also an ending of a cycle, getting over a painful realization or a painful experience, a painful outcome. And the 3 of Inspiration is, you know, the direction of how you got there, having the ideas and linking everything together so you can create that which is or should be, I would say. Like this thread of the cosmos that link all these, like these, they each have kind of like threads holding things together. So I see, just a quick kind of overview, I see that how you wanted this year to go may not have gone as you wanted it to, and that's disappointing. It has led to the work that you put in, or the journey that you thought you were going to achieve success at, didn't go the way that it wanted to go. I'm going to start with that idea, but I mean, that this is just real quick. I'm just going to look at each one and then see how they come together. Here we have the 9 of Inspiration, which is a very good positive. Well, it's a good way. I mean, actually, I think this is actually a nice card either way, because it shows that you have overcome adversity. Now, the 9 of Wands, maybe that, or in Inspiration, in reverse, may be that it's not that you haven't quite gotten there, and it's not that you don't have the tools or you haven't put in the work to protect yourself from the situation. It's that you don't feel like it's made a difference in my, like how I'm getting this right now. The Muse of Emotions, beautiful. Oh, they're all beautiful cards. So if in a normal deck, this would be the King of Emotions, which is someone who has really become the conqueror of their emotions. They are both empathetic and I wouldn't say they're not just empathetic, but they are also very tranquil in their ability to process emotions. They don't get overhyped or oversensitive. They are learning to see the value in all the different levels of emotion that one can feel, that they are proud of the person they've become or the situation that they overcame, which could definitely have to be with the 9 of Inspirations, because you did it with such grace and like emotional intelligence. This is real emotional intelligence, and this could be love as well. If you are looking for love, we have Aquarius, we have Virgo, could be an air, we've got Aries, could be an air sign, earth sign. But I mean, it could just be that you are so proud of, like, you can stand tall, stand high. I'm trying to see if that's a boat. It almost looks like the 6 of Swords boat. But again, it is all about overcoming the negative aspects of raw emotion, heightened emotion. This isn't just your child's play kind of emotion. This is your real having to face down certain demons or characteristic traits or personality traits that you possess, and overcoming them, or that other people possess. The Four of Inspiration in reverse. The Four of Inspiration, is obviously, not obviously, you may not know, but it is definitely celebration. It is achievement. It is not the success of the Six of Wands, but it is a happy ever kind of after. In this case, I love that it's not about a celebration, and it's not about marriage, union. It is about union. Definitely, I see this. Like, I almost feel like these are four goddesses that each rule a different aspect of the elements, and they've come together in a very symbiosis communion, and they're connecting to the stars above it. Now, in reverse, you may have felt like you had this union and you were expunged from it, which is actually the Hermit energy, or then the Five of Materials energy also, is you had to retract from it to get to this point. Like, there was too much going on in the situation, and it was becoming self-damaging, self-harm. It was becoming like a self-harm instance, and you had to separate yourself from it so you could become this. You could come more in tune with your emotions and stable with your emotions. Now, they may have been playing with your emotions because you could have been such a giving individual in this aspect. You may have been putting in way more, emotional connection than some of the other people. So that is what I'm getting with this. I mean, the Hermit card, of course, it is going in seeking knowledge about a certain situation. It's a temporary isolation issue where you're focusing on this, creating this sun, creating this star, this burst of knowledge, this aha moment. And it really these, what is it, you walk alone for a little while. Now, this isn't a bad thing at all. Knowing that you can be alone and that you can prosper alone, and that you don't have to ask for someone's assistance on certain things, is a really productive to personal growth. It's not to say that you don't ever have to turn to people. I mean, you'll have a community around you. You did have a community around you, which you thought was just a divine union, but maybe you're realizing that you're headed in a different direction than them. And it's something that you worked hard. Yeah. I mean, you thought the year was going to go a certain way, and then this, just all the trial and tribulations, I would say, the trials and tribulations of it. And this is usually the Wounded Warrior card. This reminds me of a lot of a scene from the movie that is a book, The Never-Ending Story. These two look like some of the pillars in the movie. So, I mean, you may have seen the movie, maybe you watched it during the season, maybe, I know it's on Netflix, actually, going back and seeing it, but you might have had a lot of these trials and tribulations where you felt you were trying to save something, that in this case it may not have been able to save, but you came out of it. You had to release yourself from it and separate yourself from it so you could come out of it. Now, over here, the Star, which is a lovely healing energy. The Hanged Man, it's about stopping. And again, the Hermit and the Hanged Man, it's a temporary, stoppage. This one is hanging, this one is sitting, this one is changing its perspective on things, and this one is seeking internal guidance and spiritual guidance and intellectual guidance. This one is literally just trying to change their perspective on me. It's like a full-on stopped. Like, stop, connect, root. So they're both, you know, I mean, this is, you are an earth sign, so this is very earth energy. I mean, you might have grown, that tree might have grown while you were sitting there, you know? Like it started off as a root and it sprang into this tree to offer you shade. So that's a situation that you may be dealing with, like having rooted something. And then we have this Five of Materials and this King of Knight of Voices in reverse. So these are both like, this is really the fastest card, one of the fastest cards in the deck. Eight of Wands, Chariot. Then reverse, it's really all about slowing down. This is about slowing down. The Star, I mean, healing is not done quickly. I mean, there's literally 9 stages of grief. So whatever healing process it is, it's not done quickly. And this Five of Materials, which I think really, because I had to, the Spirit asked me to go in and converse with this card in this deck, I now have an image of a story that it obviously wants me to relate to all of you, not just the person who's, I'm guessing, is going to get it in the secondary. But it's really quite similar to what I was getting off this Four of Inspiration when I'm seeing these cosmic energies in this cosmic family coming together as, you know, achievement and stuff. That there will be various different trials and tribulations in your life. Is this not focusing? I can't tell. Where's the... Okay. So there's going to be various different times in your life where you are going to meet adversity. And this adversity is going to separate you or ostracize you or amputate you from a certain identity, whether that identity is rooted in who you are or the identity is rooted in a group of people that represent a belief that you do. That could be a religious identity if it's a group. If it's a personal identity, it could be a gender. It could be, I'm a, you know, I have a doctorate in this, therefore that is my identity. Or I'm a stay-at-home mother, that is my identity. Whatever it is, you're going to be challenged to, and you're going to feel on the outside of it. But all these challenges, all these moments of isolation that you're forced into because situations have, or the universe has created situations that you've had to deal with like this, they are going to teach you lessons of how to, you know, how to conquer these. I don't really have a conquering card here, but and again, they're not going to move quickly. They all are. It's going to be about being with your thoughts, being with your idea, a really good idea, and that's what you were trying to share with these people, and it wasn't accepted by the collective. And you had, again, the Ten of Voices is your ideas are overpowering you, and that you had an idea about how the year was going to go from start to finish, and it just did not transpire the way that you wanted it to, though you thought you had all the tools and energy and inspiration to go towards that. And it just did not happen the way that you wanted it to. Now, what you need to focus on, though, is this healing, is this understanding. And how you're going to do that is this. So this is your mindset right now. I mean, starting with like the Fool, like you went into this year like determined to make this change, or you went not 20, we're in 2022 now. So you went into 2022, you know, determined to make this change. You were overburdened by all these thoughts and ideas, and you were finding a way to redirect them in a positive light and use them for your benefit. So you tried something new. You started a new friend group. You started a new business. You started a new school. You started a new relationship. You moved to a new apartment. And now that the year is coming to an end, what does that look like to you? What did that look like to you? You know? And the Three of Inspiration, I mean, you're still positive about it. You still have a positive view because you're not in this Ten of Voices energy anymore. You're not literally being skewered by your own thoughts. You're not being impaled. That's what I want to... Why does it not want to... There we go. You are not being impaled by your own thoughts. I mean, look at it. This dress is beautiful on this woman. So, I mean, it looks like someone who, if they're walking around the city, you think, oh, they've got it all put together. But inside, they're walking around, and there's just demon voices, you know, in their head. They're just not happy where they were. So, I mean, you're ending this year off, I would say, with more inspiration about it. Like, you've learned. And what you've learned, you know, you had to go through this. You've learned that, yes, life will throw all kinds of battles at you and all kinds of obstacles. And wherein to fight them is you've learned to actually overcome these quite well. And you've learned that controlling your emotions, or not controlling them in a sense as they are something that needs like an autocratic control over them, but clear, like you yourself growing as an individual spiritually, that you are able to now overpower your lower vibrational urges into this. And that's an important piece of creating this harmony. And that, you know, counting on other people isn't always the answer. Believing that you're, you know, putting all your belief in a community isn't always the answer. Though it was, I mean, this is not a bad card upside down. These people or this group or this foundation that you came together with has proved very beneficial and has made you very happy and has led you in the right direction that you want to go. It's just not the only way to get there. You don't have to always do this in a group. You don't always have to seek validation through other people. You understood, especially you, Virgo, because you are the hermit in general, that this is a beautiful part of who you are, and you should not have to sacrifice, you know, those moments alone and this internal guidance. Like, yeah, everyone's texting you and wondering that where the hell you are and why haven't you responded in this way or this way. But it's just something that you needed to do. So, and the universe was telling you that it's time to heal. So, because I mean, I love this Aquarius, like this star card, in the sense that it's got this just right out of that third chakra, like all these ideas again, but the ideas are nurturing. The ideas are balancing you. They are progressing you towards a point that you need to go. They're not impaling you. They're literally freeing you. And this is all, you know, about freedom for you. And even like out of your heart chakra, it almost looked like an ocean is just welling up. So you're able to connect with your third eye chakra. So your heart chakra can open up, and that's very much this energy, this muse of emotions. I mean, it's just pouring out, you know, and it's not that you're releasing things or your energy is going away. It's just simply a natural quella, a natural spring that should always flow like that. You should always be able to offer that kind of, you know, emotional support. And the mandala behind her head, you know, means it's just spreading in all directions. I think that's beautiful. And again, like I said before, this hanged muse, you know, inspiration, sometimes it doesn't always have to be on the run. You know, it doesn't have to be quick. It doesn't have to, you know, fire energy is usually the inspiration, and it's very quick, it's passionate, where it doesn't have to come. Like, I mean, these are pyramids. Pyramids literally don't go anywhere. It took, decades or half a century to a century to build these things through slave labor, and they are still where they are to this day. Even and after archaeologists and pollution and earth damages have tried to erode them, they are still there. You know, they are literally just standing still. And in this moment of new perspectives and new light on something in this new year, you are able to voice your ideas, communicate your ideas. This could also, just for some of you, this night in reverse, somebody toxic around you may be following you. Some may be literally following you around, stalking you in their car or whatnot, but following you on social media. This isn't a healthy person, like you're not being poached by a company. Somebody might be out there to do you harm. This may be like those people that try to, if you're older, these are the people who try to scam you on by being part of like Norton or part of Amazon or something like that. Like they say they're from Amazon and they try to get you to get their bank info. Be very wary because you are at home a lot. Like this, if you're an older person and you aren't out in the community, like your community is literally your retirement home and you're not out a lot, be very wary of people calling you and saying they're from a company when they are not. Okay, that's just a side, because obviously not all of you are, but that a very side message from this Night of Voices is very specific and clear. And the other thing about the story, the woman that the story is a very famous, eventually she became a famous sculptor. And now I can say that if I was possibly as a younger age of a different color, all the trouble that I got into might have been viewed it through a different lens, and I may not have been able to get away with some of my shenanigans, where this woman, being colored, half indigenous, half black, of Haitian descent, she did not, get. It's not that I ever got away with anything. I definitely had to pay costs for it. But, and I was expelled at one point in time I wasn't expelled from school, but I lost a scholarship because of some of my, shenanigans. So it did cause me to reflect and redirect. Reflect and redirect. That's, obviously I don't know why that came out so clearly there. Well, I know why, but thank you, Spirit. We are truly grateful. But this all led me to review my own individual agency and what type of person I was going to be. So each time something like this isolates you and puts you on the outside, where you have to change your perspective, where you have to heal, where you have to slow yourself down. And this is also saying stay away from, like if you're being bullied in high school, stay away from social media. Try and find a different outlet. Like sometimes I'll paint. Like obviously these are good. Obviously I do these. I love reading. I'm a huge fan of reading. Sometimes I'll play video games, but stay away from the voice of the internet. These mean, hateful, disparaging people. You don't need that. So this situation has caused you to redirect and to heal. So, I'm getting these clear images. This is all very emotional growth. This is individual personal growth. This doesn't, in some of the cases, it may be related to a business opportunity that you participated in or that you wanted to participate in. It may be that you were part of the it in crowd right here, and now you're on the outsides with them and bullied from them. Maybe you had to change schools because you were bullied by them. But what this is it's all about, how the year went. You're basically reviewing and looking how the year went, and you're still positive in your outcome. Like the way that you're looking at it is like, okay, I've learned these lessons. Now I can build and grow forward. Now I can go forward again. And this is what happened to you and what you had to do to get over this. And this is like what happened, and you had to take things slow. You had to change your perspective, and you had to heal. And how you healed is by accepting the burdens that were put on you and achieving an emotional intelligence through whatever hermit activity it is you do, whether it's meditation, whether it's writing, whether it's sports, whether it's, like I said, painting, some kind of hobby, whatever it is, you still have a community around you. You just aren't reliant on them as you thought you needed to be, as you were thus almost unhealthily clinging to. But it could be one person in your group, a healthy person who is bullying you. It is the person bullying you. And in some, like I said, some people are being stalked. Some people, be wary of scams right now, because you are in this state where you are opening up your heart chakra and you are opening up the emotional side of empathy, and you may be distracted. So again, like I said earlier, this is real distraction type energy where you may worry about something, and that anxiety may overpower your ideas, and instead of doing the right thing, you do the expedient thing because you're so worked up and nervous. It's all saying, like, definitely slow down, like take into account what they're saying and what they're asking of you, because you're like, once you think about it, like, that does not make sense, and no, I'm not going to do that, duh, that's stupid. But this being pushed on the outside of whatever situation you were in, if something didn't work out, it's for your betterment. It really is. It's for your personal growth. Because like what I've seen here, you're in a better place than you were at the end of last year, and that's good. Like, even if it didn't work out with this crowd, or it may work out, like it still may work out, you just have to talk about things, or you have to go through some kind of like healing together. But you're in a better place than you were at the end of last year. I mean, you were determined to start new, and this is the end of the cycle, and you're feeling very inspirational about it. Like, you're ready to go on a new path. You're ready to start a new stage in your life. Maybe you're going from middle school to high school, high school to college. Like, you're excited about what lies ahead of you. Absolutely. Like, as the overview made real simple, like how the year went here. Okay, I'm going to get an oracle card on this to see what additional message there is for you. Please, spirits, guides, guardians, guide my Virgo moons at this time. So they're doing their healing. They have realized that all of this they're optimistic. They're all optimistic about this new year. What do they have to look forward to, perhaps? Well, that can be what we look at in the clarifier. But the last guidance, we've got two. Okay. I'll start with this one because it's very apt to what I said when I saw that card underneath the deck here. What's going on between the separation from a group or an institution or a community or a way of life. We've got protection. Is it? Okay. And it says, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So again, this is literally all what we're saying here. Cut the cords, call back your power. Like, what you're doing, you're healing yourself, you're isolating. This is all about having cut those ties, having been isolated and ostrated, not ostracized, but I don't want to say that, just sounds bad, but I mean, it could have been in a sense. And this is very new moon energy. So this is a full moon reading, but this could be about setting those intentions. The new moon, this is also could be the world. I mean, the way that the cosmos is in this deck, in this card, I mean, this is very simply about committing yourself that this is the end of a cycle. Like, you're moving on to the next stage and you are inspired by it. So I get this protection. And this is all about creating those healthy boundaries. And that I said earlier with the 7 of inspiration, 7 of wands, is, you like this healing and this meditation state, that both these things, like about changing your perspective, this has a lot to do with meditation and enforcing that energy boundary around yourself, so other people that you don't want, especially this Knight of Voices. It could be a specific air sign I might be worried about. Obviously not Aquarius, like I don't think Aquarius in this sense, because this is very positive energy coming out of Aquarius, but they might be a Libra or a Gemini. So be wary, and this is a Gemini moon, so they may be the one either stalking you of your friend group, or that is bullying you, or you may be that person that's causing issues in your own life, that's ostracizing you from people, that's preventing yourself from healing. But slow down. This is all about, like, you know, slow down, protect yourself, take that time. The second one is align your life. So what is not aligned or needs to be changed? This goes into what I think, this is, I think, just specifically talking about this Three of Inspiration cards, because as you're moving, like from the last year, ending in this Ten of Voices into this Fool, and then ending, now we're at the end of this year, and you're inspired by this. This is just asking you, as you're going into this new year, as this Three of Inspirations, as you're inspired, something, you know, you've gone through the process over this time of healing and changing your perspective and understanding what you're a part of, is that you need to align. Like, you see how there's a gap in these dominoes, so they can't complete its full purpose and job. So it's just tying up these loose ends, I believe, making sure that you are still inspired and what you're inspired about. So then make sure that aligns with you. It's something that you should have gained as you were going through this Hanged Man stage, where you were in your solitude and you just change your perspective slightly about something. This is the alignment that they're making sure that you're focusing on. This very strong energy, grounded energy. Let's see. I did want to say, okay, so there's 5 elements to this oracle deck. It's confirmation cards, inquiry cards, action cards, activation cards, and transmission cards. Now, you got an inquiry card, you know, it's asking you to do something. The protection card should be yep, it is an activation card, so it's asking you to activate something. So there's some of you who haven't completed aligning the last aspects of your life to be in line with this Three of Inspirations, but they're asking you to. Now, what I can do in the follow-up based, I mean, I'll let Spirit guide me if there's anything specifically different, but since we've got a lot of this, you've worked on yourself, you've done a lot of solitude and isolationist activities where you've worked on bettering yourself or whatever that is. You've gone through the steps. So I think I'm going to focus on this Three of Inspiration for the Sun start following it up, because it's already telling you to activate something. So I'm going to focus on the inquiry card. You know, what is it that you have to align in this life as you move into the new year? Okay. Actually, I'm going to leave these here. I did this for the last one too, instead of cleaning them up, and it made it much easier for me to revert back to the cards when they were called. So thank you very much, Virgo Moon. If you enjoyed this, please stick with me. I am going to shuffle out the cards now, but your direct sun sign will be in the description box under the timestamps, or timestamps. If you enjoyed this so far, please like, share, and subscribe. As well, at the end of this is a small meditation that just helps you pretty much do this. What I'm trying to do is help you achieve this. So I want, since you opened up your energy to me, we're going to close it back up. You're going to center yourself, bring yourself in, and just rejuvenate your energy before you head back out into whatever it is you're doing after this. All right. Thank you very much. Love and light. All right, Spirit, as we go through, I am going to see what is it that they have to align. That is for Aries. This is for Virgo Moon, Aries Sun. All right, what is it that they have to align? The past to the present. That is what I'm getting off of that one. All right, we are now on to Virgo Moon. Oh, goodness, that's 3 of them. Okay, so Virgo Moon, Taurus Sun, Virgo Moon, Gemini Sun. Next is Cancer, Virgo Moon, Cancer Sun. What do we have for our Virgo Moons and our Cancer Suns? Thank you, Spirit. Man, you were just you want things to just fly out of here. Okay, we've got 2. You were just real descriptive. I mean, you high energy on this one, Cancer. Next is Leo, Leo Sun, Virgo Moon with Leo Sun. Ah, that's that star. You may still have work to do on your star, Leo Sun. Virgo Moon, Virgo Sun. Virgo Moon, Virgo Sun. Let's see. This is not coming into focus as easily as the last ones did. I love this Hawaiian princess. Virgo Moon, Virgo Sun. Okay. All right, next we have Libra. Virgo Moon, Libra Sun. Thank you, spirits. Please guide us for their highest good. What is it that they need to align? Virgo, they need to, all right. Libra, next we have Scorpio. I believe we have Scorpio. Virgo Moon, Scorpio Sun. Thank you, Spirit. Please guide Scorpios for their highest good. What do they need to align in their life? Oh, goodness. Do we want both of those? Oh. No, I need to. Okay. Yes, and like this. Okay, Scorpio. Right, because then we have Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Yeah. So next, thank you, Sagittarius. And then Capricorn, Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moon, Capricorn Sun. Please, Spirit, guide them for their highest good. What do they need to know? What do they need to align in their life to really achieve this? Get ready for their 3 of inspiration. They're heading out on their path. They're heading out on their 3 of inspiration. What do Capricorns need to know? That money isn't everything? What do Capricorns need to know? Let's see what Spirit. All right. Quiet myself down. There we go. Yep. Sometimes emotional happiness is more important than material happiness. All right. That was Capricorn. We are on Aquarius. Virgo Moon, Aquarius Sun. Thank you very much. What do we need to align? And lastly, Pisces Moon. Pisces Sun, Virgo Moon. Pisces Sun, Virgo Moon. What is it that they need to align? Thank you very much, Spirit. Please be patient with me as we seek the final card. All right. Thank you very much, Spirit. And now we will start. All right, Aries, thank you for returning back to me. This is going to be this is the Virgo Moon with an Aries Sun. We're focusing on this 3 of inspiration. We want to have that healthy Emperor energy. This is what we want to embody a little bit of, not that unhealthy Emperor energy. So what is it that we need to align so we can really start the new year off with this 3 of inspiration energy? And here we have Beatrix Potter, the 6 of Cups. So what I'm just getting real quickly, I love sometimes, Aries, you have such clear messages. Leave the past in the past. Leave the past behind. Great fortune, great success can come from this. Like Beatrix Potter, obviously she wrote all those child books. So some Peter Rabbit and the one about the ducks, the Ugly Duckling, I think is the one that was. And she was an author, so writing also may be influential to you of how to, like I said earlier, like writing certain things down so you can deal with them. Maybe that's what you did a lot when you were in your isolationist state, in your hanged man things. You were able to change your perspective by reconvening on some of your writings and noticing that how you actually have evolved over the time, that you're not even the same person that you thought you were. So your ideals have changed. Beatrix Potter, obviously, there's tons of rabbits in these, rabbits in the hat. 6 of Cups. So, or the rabbits in the cups. There's abundant opportunity for happiness. I mean, this is a happy card. It's just really leave your past in the past. Separate your future from your past. I mean, we all, the experiences made us who we are, which is what the, the star is talking about, what the Five of Pentacles is talking about. But to linger on it will always prevent you from stepping into that new stage, because if you haven't cleansed yourself of all that energy that is holding you back, then you cannot truly step forward. So you need to align yourself with who you were in the past versus who you want to be in the future. Align your goals. Leave that in the past so you can directly focus on the new you, or the ending. So I would have a good New Year's ending, like a solid, like for you, normally I don't say, make these stupid New Year's resolutions. It's not about the resolution in itself. It's about have a nice ceremony saying goodbye to the past, like saying goodbye to this last year. Wish it well. Thank you for all the lessons learned. I set you on your way. I think that's a really good opportunity for you, because, and then take that time to create that boundary. There may be a new moon towards the end of the, this year. I would say do a ceremony around that new moon time for you. Just, advice. That's all I could do. Now, tarot I'm not providing any kind of health or financial or business advice. You have the right of your own free will to do what you do. These are just the messages and the energy around you. So thank you, my Virgo Moon, Aries Sun. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. You can fast forward now to the end where there's a short meditation to just help rejuvenate your energy barriers. I wish you a lovely day. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me. This is a Virgo moon with a Taurus sun. We are consulting the universe on how to align what it is that you need to change and align your life so you can truly embody that Three of Inspiration energy. You got the Keeper of Wands, Cleopatra. In this, you need to literally be willing to kill a part of you, of who you were. And that's not the Keeper of Wands energy. That's more the Cleopatra energy. Like, in order for what she thought her country to be able to survive, she killed herself and her lovers because she didn't want to be controlled by another individual, and she didn't, want to submit that part of her energy and her power. So in this case, what you need to align is, so you can achieve that, is, it's very similar, I would say, to this, like this Emperor energy, is don't embody the ego, just the straight, don't just embody the ego of this Keeper of Wands, because there's a negative, low vibrational energy that can come from a Keeper of Wands. And that is, manipulative, aggressive, abusive, ego-driven. Like, you're dropping the whole passion. You're like, usually, fires can be so compassionate and so caring, and they can think about the good of all, because they really want to make everyone around them happy, because it's just a party environment. They don't want to upset, anyone where they're not liked or admired or anything like that. But the ego can get in the way. And I would say, if you don't have the id to kind of bring it down to earth, this star and this hermit energy, then this can get out of control, and it can just lead to toxic behaviors. So aligning in life, you need to, since you are a Taurus sun and Virgo moon, these are both very earth energies. So you may be out of line and out of balance right now because you are too rooted. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get my face in there, my chin in there, my giant chin. You have spent too much time in isolation with this hermit and this hanged man. And you're kind of like on the outside. you're kind of over-consumed with having been dropped by this group or this organization on the outside, that you haven't taken the opportunity to learn. You've isolated yourself in a very negative manner. So it's in this case, like this ego is just overtaking you in this really negative aspect. Like you're just feeling sorry for yourself. Like this isolation isn't to better yourself. Some of you, literally, this isolation may be diminishing your healing. It may be preventing you from healing. It will lead you your lesser urges. So in this sense, I'm like this hermit, the lesser hermit, and the hanged muse. It could be like isolation instead of just self-isolation. You may be, in this case, ostracizing is the word I'm using. So you need to embody more of this positive keeper of the wands energy, not this low vibrational ego energy that is causing you to feel these things. And once you reignite that passion for something, because this is also an inspiration card, a passion card, you need to align that grounded side of your life, that feeling sorry for yourself kind of life, with that happy-go-lucky party side of your life. Now, because it doesn't matter whether you're a fire or earth sign. Everybody likes to party and likes to be around people they like and likes to feel love around them. So you definitely need to get out of your self-isolationism. You need to get out of feeling sorry for yourself. That aligning in your life is more. Thank you for returning to me. This is going to be your Virgo moon, Cancer sun. So here we asked Spirit, what do you need to align in your life? What we got for you is the Star in reverse. Spirit keeps messing with me between Cancer and Leo all the time. So we have Anne Frank. Obviously, that is an extremely sad story. It's to say that it's a sad story is negating the fact that every person who lost their life during the terror in Europe under Nazi socialist rule is not a tragedy. And it is. All of it. Every single one of them. So, Anne Frank is just one of the stories that we've been able to memorialize. If you've ever visited her house in Amsterdam, or not her house, obviously, but the Anne Frank house. So in reverse, what I'm seeing with this star is the fact that where it's upright here for everyone else, you may be having an issue with healing. So what you need to align is your healing. You need to align this third eye chakra with your heart chakra. There is still an imbalance, and it's creating the stagnation. Like you've gone inward and you're trying to seek guidance on healing, and you just keep coming out with it's not working. It's not happening for me. I'm still bitter. I'm still angry. I still feel left out in the cold. It's not happening. I can't focus on what I want to focus on because I still feel like junk. So what you need to align is your healing. You need to connect with the adversity. This child for a while, and even the family that housed her, overcoming the adversity of it, like living under that terror. Like you need to realize that your situation is not as bad as you think it is. Some of you, I should refrain that some of you might be living in war-torn areas. You might be in Iran right now during the protests. You might be in Indonesia after this, law just went into effect. You could be some in Haiti right now. I'm not sure. It can be bad, yes, but even as bad as it is, find a way to harmonize and heal. Like obviously she did writing. She wrote a lot. There's not a whole lot you can do in isolation. She talked about her crush on boys and who she liked. But, find a way to embrace the lighter side of life. Don't make things so heavy for yourself. Like even the energy, the way that, like the energy that I got out of this about you, like, it's just not, you know, I don't know what else to do. It's like you're turning it into a task, and or you're turning it into like a, you know, a lesson, you know, like you would have to go through at school. You know, that is not how you go through proper healing. This is not a lesson where if you read this, this, and this, then you get the answers to questions 1, 2, and 3. No, you need to leave that behind. You know, that the voices energy, you need to leave behind this earth energy of thinking that everything's rooted in, you know, a purpose and a place. This isn't, I mean, obviously there is a purpose, but to healing, and it's about self-betterment, and self-healing. But don't get angry at yourself for not achieving it quick enough or achieving it the way you thought it would. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. I'm getting a lot of like very self-critical energy out of this, and that's why you're not healing. So it's not only that what you have to do to align yourself is, you know, to focus on healing, but the way that you do that, the how, is you need to stop being so self-critical. I mean, this is just some real harsh energy. I mean, you're just like, just being, like, I'm seeing this as like, I know this is positive, but in this sense, when I'm regarding you, this water that's flowing out of their heart chakra, you know, you're more or less like trying to pull it out like it's that handkerchief in a magic show, like, just keep coming, where's the end, you know? And it's becoming a task for you. So stop, lighten up, you know, just breathe it off. Definitely work on creating boundaries, because I think you're just way too much in an angry space about this. I think you've just gotten, it's frustrating you, and you need to not be so frustrated about it. All right, thank you very much. Our Virgo moon, Cancer sun. I think I did that the last time I did it too. Like I tried to say sun and moon together. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and fast forward to the end of the video. There will be a short meditation just to help rejuvenate your energy as you go out into the day. Thank you very much. Love and light. Creating, you know, the fire to your earth. Like, you really need to balance those things out much better, because you're just way too heavy in the earth sign, and you're just feeling so sorry for yourself. And it's definitely not making anyone around you try and build those bridges or try and mend those wounds with you, because they just don't want to deal with that. This card for you is in the reverse as well. You are not on top of your game. Like, you have not. Why is this not focusing? Oh my gosh, this is seriously bothering me. You're not, you're your best you. For sure. You have not achieved that, and you need to. So be more positive. Be more positive. Simple matter. I think you've got some work still to do before you start the new year. Virgo moon, Taurus sun. Absolutely. Still a lot of work to do. All right. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this message, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support and any support. If you fast forward to the end, there is a short little guided meditation that will help rejuvenate your energy field, just like this card, creating boundaries. That's what this is going to be helping you do, is create that healthy energy boundary. Thank you very much. Love and light. For returning, this is the Virgo moon, Cancer sun. Gemini sun. Oh, I almost skipped over to this one. I was like, oh no, we need to do this one still. Virgo moon, Cancer sun. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So we ask Spirit again, what do we need to align so we achieve this 3 of inspiration? I really like Ka'iulani. She was the princess of Hawaii, Then when the Americans colonized it and took the right of the royal family away and gave it to religious faction, she was out of I think she was in England at the time, and she had to come back, and she tried to fight Congress for their rights, for like sovereignty over their land and ownership over their land, and because she was stripped of all her royal titles, and her rights. So she was one of the first independent leaders of Hawaii. In reverse, I see that what you need to align is you are also not emotionally connecting to your sympathy and empathetic side. You are not embodying this like muse of emotions that is here. You have a lot of emotions. It's not focusing at all. And it's an important part of who you are and how you embody your characteristics and how you reciprocate relationships or how you interact with your landscape as well. And you are not feeling emotionally satisfied with the situation. Like you've done the work, you're doing, you're healing, you're hermit, you've been ostracized, you realize that this is the next stage, you've changed your perspective, but you're still just not emotionally satisfied. So there's something in there in which you need to answer yourself. What is it that makes you happy? What was it about that made you unhappy? Because if you don't know what makes you unhappy, then you don't know what makes you happy. And the vice versa, if you focus too much on what makes you unhappy, then you're also not realizing what makes you actually truly happy. Because it's all just a negative instead of a positive. So it's really asking you to connect to what is it that you truly make you happy. Like she loved her people. She had a love for her people. And she thought that they were being, obviously, here you can see Congress, the Capitol. They thought that she was not manipulated. I want to say more. It's more than manipulation. And it's more than being taken advantage of. Her people... It might come to me. So, I mean, she gave, and that's the other thing, like, there were certain, like, well, if you play, kind of like what the British royal family did with the Sikhs in India, the royal Sikh families and the Sikhs, it's like, if you, will offer you this, this, and this, you can keep these parts of your lifestyle, and we'll bring you into like the British royal family, if you allow us to basically control your country. And taking advantage of, that's it. She felt her people were absolutely being taken advantage of it in her country, and that literally they were ripping their land away and their culture away from them to institute a evangelical style of white European rule. And that could also be a thing about it. Whatever the image was did not fit with, your culture. Like I'm feeling like there's a separation with somebody trying to tell you how to live that doesn't, or tell you how to do things that doesn't align with your moral beliefs or your cultural beliefs or the morals built through your cultural experiences. Like, and you've had a lot to think about this. Like literally, I mean, this is a highly intelligent card. The Hermit becomes very smart and very educated about what it is that they're focusing on. I mean, in essence, you can think that this ball of light was literally created just through sheer willpower of thought. Like, I want to create sustainable light or whatever, and he created it through thought by knowing what needed to get done. And in this case, you've been putting all that into work, but you just need to emotionally connect to how to align it so it creates this three of inspiration. You need to focus on this gap that's here, but you need to ask the questions when you're trying to figure that out. What are you emotionally connected to? And I think that's important for you, Cancer. Absolutely. And you are a water sign, so you are driven by emotions, and it rules the fourth house, the family, foundation, and fertility. So this may have to do with whatever issue you're dealing with. And Cancer is also ruled by the moon. So this is a very emotionally driven time, and you need to connect to that and leave the negativity out of it, like what bad emotions you have. Just focus on what makes you happy. All right, thank you very much. Our Virgo moon with Cancer sun. All right, if you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to fast forward to the end where there's a short little like silent meditation, and just so you can, strengthen those boundaries around you and rejuvenate yourself before you head out into the day, evening, or wherever you are. Thank you very much. Love and light. All right, Virgo moon, Leo sun. Virgo moon, Leo sun, we have the Three of Swords in reverse, and we have the Ten of Pentacles upright, which is Gabriela Mistral, and the Three of Swords is Julian of Norwich. So I see that you're getting over some kind of disappointment. So what you need to align is, okay, I feel like there's a disappointment over not making as much money from something as you thought you were, or not achieving something as materially important to you. Because like I said, you started the new year rough, and now you're ending your cycle, but you're still, inspired by it. But what you need to align is that whatever disappointment that you have around material wealth is unnecessary. You don't need to worry about the material aspect of whatever it is. All you need to know is that whatever you're inspired and passionate about will create fulfillment for you. It doesn't need to have a monetary value to it. It doesn't need to be a representation of luxury in any way. Just know that, yes, it's disappointing, but you're getting over it by understanding that that's this like what you wanted obviously was the Ten of Pentacles. You didn't get it. You're disappointed by that, but you're realizing, and you had to realize, which is why you might have gone inward. This definitely may have been a business situation for you, or something that was related to gaining higher status, so education based or anything like that, or being accepted into Mensa or something. I don't know why that came through, but even if it didn't, or if you were supposed to get honors, like graduate with honors or something, because you could get into a school, or maybe you didn't get accepted to the school you wanted to get into, but you may realize that school may not specialize in what you're really passionate about. For instance, I didn't know, like the undergrad that I went to, it was a huge school. I felt I was getting lost in it, and so I didn't even think about a master's one because it was too expensive. But because I came out on, my undergrad not really knowing, okay, what would I want to study if I was going to get a graduate degree? Now, eventually I did go back and I have a graduate's degree, but it's, the school that I was going to actually specializes in the subject in which I'm most passionate about. And I didn't even realize that until after I was like my second year into my graduate degree. I'm like, oh, and I started, on my research, a lot of the links led back to the university that I got my undergrad in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. And it was my second, my undergrad, it was the second school I went to because, like I said, I lost my scholarship to the first school, which is also, a pretty darn good school. But you never know where it'll lead you. So don't, set yourself up with these limitations of what you think. Like, because obviously the second school I went to wasn't as good as the first school, but eventually it became the leader in this one sector that I truly am passionate about. So you never know where. It may work out for your benefit, or it will work out, because it's still the Ten of Pentacles upright. So there's still a lot of material abundance to gain in, your future. I cannot get these cards to focus. I wonder what message that's telling me. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not going to focus on that. But that's what you need to align in order to get your 3 of inspiration. Absolutely. Leave that in the past. You know, you don't need to tie those 2 things together, whatever disappointment you had. It's similar to actually to the Aries message. Oh, I guess it makes sense. You're both fire signs, so you could be going through separating your past from your future. Just leave it behind. There's a great opportunity ahead of you. Absolutely. Thank you very much, my Leo sun, Virgo moon. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And if you want to fast forward to the end, there is a meditation that will just help rejuvenate your energy field. This, we have a Tower card come up. Now this is in reverse. So you may be in denial about something. Getting denial about this. Anne Boleyn obviously blew up a royal family. Of course, that was all about sexual energy being, you know, the sexual energy about things being blown up. I don't know if you're sexually frustrated, some of you. That's a real specific message. But that could be what is why you're not achieving your inspiration, because you need to go out and find companionship. This is obviously only for the adults in this tarot reading. But I know Virgos do like being in partnerships. There's a lot of people, sorry, that's not to say not all of them, but you know, a lot of people can't handle being alone or in isolation, and that's maybe what you need to align is, you know, but what this tried to tell you is that you didn't have to be in a group or in a partnership or in a relationship or anything like that. So if you're not getting that lesson, then it's just going to lead to more frustration. And you're just in denial about what it is that you can accomplish. So I'm saying, you know, what you need to align in this sense is you need to, I would say, allow the bad things to happen. And I don't mean the Tower doesn't always have to be bad, but what it does is it's a situation that kind of shocks you into realization, that moves you and redirects your energy towards the right path. Oh, what did I say when this one? Something in redirection? Not identification, but yes, it's alignment. Yeah, so what you need to align is definitely that line earlier was for you. There needs to be a redirection of energy. You need to stop focusing on, you need to stop being in denial. First off, there's something here that you are in denial of. Just a second. Let me see if I can just get any spirit. Can you tell me what it is that our Virgos are in denial of? Can you be specific? Get me as close to the topic or variable that I need to know in order to understand what it is that specifically that they are in denial of. Because it seems the Hermit energy and everything else came in pretty clear. Okay. So we had the Lovers in reverse. And we have the Six of Materials. So you're definitely in denial about a situation being over. You don't think, somehow you are clinging on to a situation not actually being over. You think that somehow you can repair a situation. You have used this isolation time to have, this goes back to exactly creating that false narrative. You are basing your future, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, or your story. You're building your story on false emotions, things that don't really exist. You're creating connections where there are no connections. But this could literally be either a love situation that you were involved in did not work out, and you are in denial about it. You thought it was the bee's knees. You know, you thought it was your. I mean, look at these two. You're twinning. It was your soul connection. You're mirroring each other. You thought you have found your forever, possibly, person. But that is not the case. Now, what this could also be is a decision that you made, because it's all about, it could also be a decision that was made, is you haven't made, you're in denial about making a decision. Like you are putting off making a decision because you don't know if it's the right one. And this is what you want. You want the Six of Materials. You want this kind of like rejuvenated start, like the beginning of a balanced, you know, commitment. Whether that commitment is in a job, an education, like I said before, it doesn't matter, like to you and how it resonates with you, because only leave what resonates with you, or only take what resonates with you, leave behind the rest. But so you just are putting off making this decision because you don't know if it's going to lead to this happiness or not. And again, that's just leading to some real unbalanced energy around you. And you just, you need to make a decision, because if you don't make the decision, it's going to be made for you. And that it may not be the decision that you want to happen. So there's two strong messages coming through as far as the specific, what you're in denial about, and aligning your life. Aligning your life is literally, for the rest of you, just, you know, again, stop being in denial about a situation. Stop creating that false narrative for yourself. Accept what is true, what is factual, and what is in the now and real. And then you can move on to your Three of Inspiration. You can end up this cycle for this year towards a great new beginning, that you have built up all the knowledge and all the healing and all the emotional intelligence to deal with that next stage, because that's what you've done over this year. All right, thank you very much, Virgo Moon, Virgo Sun. I appreciate all the support. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to fast forward to the end, where there is just a short meditation that will help rejuvenate your energy. Again, love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning to us. This is our Virgo Moon, Libra Sun. We are asked Spirit again, what do we need to align in our life so we can get to this Three of Inspiration energy in the new year? You have received the Ace of Cups in reverse. So obviously what you need to align is you need to turn this Ace of Cups upright. You need, like, the Ace of Cups is usually a love offering. Now it definitely may not at all be a new love offering for all of you. I don't think what is going to inspire you to head on your way is this new love, or a new soulmate or something like that. But it is finding that love, finding that emotional fulfillment. I mean, you've been working so hard on the rooting and the grounding yourself, and then the healing yourself. So this is earth and air. So now you need to find the water. Like you really need to just connect with source in that beauty of the ocean, like the ebb and the wane of the ocean, this glory that you hear when the waves crash. Oh, there's actually waves crashing in the background, I believe. Like, I think that these are waves right here, kind of, you know, on a beach. I think this may be for you. Some of you might definitely be taking a vacation to some place where you can hear the ocean. If you already live near the ocean, because I grew up near the ocean, it could be just taking the time away from all the busy, hectic, what you're doing right now, to connect with the water and connect with the ocean. For some of you, this may be visiting a stream, or you know, hearing the water trickle down the rocks. There's definitely a water component attached to this specific message of connecting. So you just may need to connect with a water source as a cleansing activity. Some of you may need to perform a cleansing bath, like take a bath in Epsom salt, or, you know, put some water outside underneath the full moon and then rinse your hair in it or rinse your body in it. There may be an actual ceremonial aspect to this for you in order to like cleanse your, like a cleansing yourself of this past year. Like, it's not that it was bad. It was just, you want to really start something, you know, you started something, it's like that year you started and ended it, and now you're really inspired by what you've created over that year. All this knowledge that you saw, you know, these relationships that you've learned from, this community that you've learned from, the battles you fought, you know, being isolated at times, willfully or unwillfully. And it's about a ceremonial process possibly that'll get you to that next step. For some of you, like I said, a few of you that did actually love. Love is going to inspire you to be a better person and therefore achieve the goals that you want to achieve because you have the confidence to achieve them. Yes, so and these are kind of some simple messages, literally turning your Ace of Cups. What do you love? What is something that goes back to the passion, what you're passionate about at some point in time? It's kind of similar to the Leo thing, is just make sure that whatever you're doing, you're leading the answer you're looking for, and the way to align your life is finding more emotional balance and loving yourself. So this could make sure to don't forget to love yourself, because the more you love you, the more people will recognize that you love yourself, and therefore you have confidence and you have respect and that soft skill capability that so many people are looking for. That's a very beautiful message. Passion and inspiration, you know, and emotional fulfillment. Thank you very much, my Virgo moons with my Libra suns. I hope you enjoyed that message. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Before you leave and close out, please head to the end of this video where there's just a short meditation, a little breathing exercise to help you bring you and center you in for the day. Thank you very much again. Love and light. All right. Thank you very much for coming back. Virgo moon and Scorpio sun. You are one of those that got the 2 cards. So what do you need to align? We have the Queen of Swords, or the Keeper of Swords, right? The King. Yeah, the Keeper of Swords in reverse. So I would say turn this upright. Supported by the Page of Pentacles. Mary Lou Williams, who had, you know, went through relationships, but you know, eventually she, regardless of how her music style evolved, the way that relationships formed that music style, she earned her right as an individual. Huda Sahawari, a beautiful story. Besides being married off at a young age to a second cousin or uncle of such, she became a leader in the feminist movement. Well, first she became a leader in the, because first off she was from Egypt, or born in what now we refer to as Egypt, and around Cairo. And she was involved in the nationalist movement to seek independence from England. So then once her uncle, or not her uncle, well, yeah, her uncle, but her husband died, she gained a lot more prominence within the the feminist movement, using the Quran as a basis for the right of women to have more independence and sovereignty within the state, because that was what her interpretation of the Quran was about, which it doesn't surprise me, since Muhammad had a wife who was a very strong female figure and a very rich, predominant female figure that probably had a lot to do with the power in the relationship. So I don't know where it went so wrong. So to align yourself in this, I'm thinking that, I mean, her story, again, like what I say, is hers, very ups and downs, ins and outs of kind of changing her style and being influenced by other people's story in their life before. I mean, she was a great musician and a great writer, but and she had to go through all these like isolationist moments, you know, being on the outside and trying to create her own voice before she was able to not before she was able to, she obviously continued to be a star throughout it, but you know, she eventually came into her own self and her own body. So aligning, so you can get this Page of Pentacles, you know, a solid grounding of a future. Like this inspiration is headed towards something. What is it headed towards? It's headed towards a Page of Pentacles, a long-term investment that reaps benefits, material benefits. And in order to do that, you need to align yourself with this kind of mentality, this Keeper of the Swords mentality, this very stoic intelligence and very educated understanding of how the situation works. But knowing your position in the situation as well will help you write that, because it's about creating those connections with people and ideas that will help lead you there. The imbalance of that is forging the, like, because it's a very institution, it's rule and law and institutional based in a healthy dynamic. If it's in the reverse, like this is what you're currently seeing, is you're not paying attention to the rules and the institutions laid out, whether it's societal rules and social, you know, governance, or it's actual literal, you know, governance. And what you want to do is realign your values with the values of the society and the time, or the times. Like I said, it's when you know that the moral high ground, like a Sophie Scholl type card, the moral high ground, the people who are in power don't actually hold the moral high ground. It's the people, you know, in the revolution that hold the moral high ground. Then that's the social atmosphere that you need to embody in order to become a leader. Because she was a leader, absolutely. A journalist, a writer, an intellect. She was a leader, a people, a voice of the people. And the king, the Keeper of the Swords, is also about, you know, merging both that intellectual with that knowledge of the holistic understanding. You have to understand the effects of these in order to make the most, you know, most effective change. Like, you don't want to just change things and have some people, like the rich people, benefit and the poor people pay, or vice versa. You want to make sure everybody has some kind of balance, and understanding that you're trying to make that utopia version where the majority of the people are in the bell section, not on the outskirts of the lip. So I see you having to align, and like your inspiration is there. It can create this Page of Pentacles. You just need to become the leader. You need to, the candle just went out. So that's it. Yeah, it's clear. This is what needs to happen type of message, is you need to align yourself with the societal the morals and the institutions of the time, and to create that leadership kind of quality of yourself by understanding all the variables and aspects of the problem, not just some of them. And you should have been able to do that if you spent all this time in the Hanged Man and Hermit state healing, like understanding that balance between everything. It's not a Libra card, but yeah, it's still, this is an air, you know, card. So thank you very much, Virgo suns, Scorpio moons. Scorpio suns, Virgo moons. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Go ahead, also fast forward to the end of this, where there's a short meditation, a breathing exercise, just to help center yourself for the rest of the day, evening, whichever, wherever you are. Thank you very much again. Love and light. All right, Virgo moon, our Sagittarius sun. What we need to align, what we have here is the Four of Swords in reverse. This is Hilma I.F. Clint. So in reverse, what we need to align is, now that you've spent all this time, this is a pretty simple message for you. You spent all this time in the standstill energy, this earth energy, this hermit, you know, reflection energy, this hanged man perspective energy, in this healing energy, this understanding and trying to better and balance yourself, understanding the battles that you fought, like and being isolated at times and how that's affected you. You need to get active. What you need to align is you need to take that standstill inactive energy and start putting it into practice. And therefore you will achieve your three of inspiration. Like, you know, this is what, like, because this is all standstill. This is relaxing, dreaming, thinking about things, contemplating them, and you've already done that. So what you need to do is get that into action. You know, get out of bed. All those ideas that you've possibly even put down into words, publishing them. You know, it's time to find a publisher. It's time to get published. It's time to turn in that paper. It's time to submit that poem. Yeah, so it's definitely, I think I'm going to definitely read the Three of Inspiration, the poem for the Three of Inspiration. Where is voices, materials? It must have been in the front. Here we go. The dominoes of joy I seek, infectious, happy things. I wait for mine while at the sea, with all the songs she brings. So that may have an influence on you, because whatever it needs to do, you need to put it into action. It's an time for, yeah, like I said, all those things that you've accumulated over the time, to actually share them with the people around you, the world, whatever it is. You know, if you have an idea about wanting to start a YouTube channel, now's the time to do it. If you have a new song you want to sing, now's the time to do it, because it's also a communication card. So it is about using your voice through one of the mediums. All right, thank you very much. It's a very strong, succinct message, as it should be with this, because it's just telling you to get action, take action. That is our Virgo moon with our Sagittarius sun, and Saggies, of course, you know, you like that travel, that action, that doing it. So this would be very good for you. If you enjoyed that, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. You can go ahead and fast forward to the end. There is a short breathing exercise that'll just help center you for the day. Love and light. All right, Virgo moon, our Sagittarius, the Capricorn sun. You have one of my favorite women, the Ten of Cups. What I got when I put this right out is that what you need to align in your life is you need to stop focusing on material happiness and start focusing on emotional happiness. If you continually put the material, because if you continually put the material aspects of your life in front of your own needs and wants, it will lead down a very destructive hole of continuing to seek fulfillment through material things while lacking total emotional fulfillment. And you'll start filling your life with even people, like you'll fill your friends will be made up of the wrong people. Your relationships will be made up of the wrong people. Your home will be filled with things that you don't like and that don't emotionally fulfill you. And it will lead to bad behaviors and bad tendencies and negative behaviors and negative tendencies. So what you need to align in your life, because you've thought about all these things, and again, you need not focus on the material aspect of this. You need to focus on the emotional fulfillment and joy that life and this opportunity can bring you, because you know it is inspirational and you do want to do it. So just make sure that you're going into it without you set your goal up like, this is what I want to achieve. First of all, don't do that, because that limits you. That's setting a limitation on yourself. But the ideals of what you want to achieve is they're based it and they're rounded and they're rooted in material things, like to buy this car, to buy this house, to buy this watch, to buy these shoes, to buy this vacation, or to have a vacation. Remember, it's like, okay, instead, what does that vacation actually mean to you? What is, like, you want to go into that vacation. Why? Because it makes you happy. In what way? It provides you with what fulfillment? If you want to buy that house, why? Like, what about it makes you happy? Is it the light that comes through the skylight? Is it the fact that it's next to an ocean? Maybe find ways that to fulfill those needs without them being materialistically driven. All right. Well, thank you very much. Virgo moon, Capricorn sun. This is a very clear message. If you want to know about Wangari Maathai, I recommend looking her up. She was an environmentalist, one of the first doctorate holders in Kenya, and she created an entire, political movement, and eventually she held political office. Well, she started an environmental movement that led to a political party, and then she, held office in that position. And she did it, and she achieved all those things because it was something that she emotionally was connected to. It wasn't about achieving that material wealth for her. It was about solving a problem, and she was connected to that problem for her people. So that may be definitely of interest to you. Again, thank you very much. If you enjoyed, like, share, or subscribe. I recommend you to fast forward to the end for the short breathing exercise. It says to rejuvenate yourself before you head out into the day. Love and light, my beautiful Virgo plus Capricorn. All right, thank you very much for coming back to me. This is our Virgo moon with our Aquarius sun. You got the Four of Cups in reverse, the Gladys Bentley. Now, what we asked Spirit when we were dealing these cards is what we need to align in our life. Stop separating. Okay, I'm just getting this real quick. It just came. Don't separate. Like, you see how this one cup is separated from these three cups? Don't separate don't separate these things. They're not different goals, or they're not different aspects. They're all aspects of the same piece. It's like if they were each a piece of the glass. They're not just a piece of the glass, they're a piece of the whole. So stop separating yourself from whatever, whether it's an institution, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a goal, whether it's a identity. You are a part of it. Start seeing yourself as a part of the whole, or stop separating one objective of your inspiration to the whole. You need to look at it as a whole piece of pie, not just a slice of pie. I know that's a weird message for the Four of Cups. Also, Gladys Bentley was, one of the was a non-binary performer before non-binary really was a category for identity. She had some great success in New York, had a place up on Park Avenue, had servants, but lost that when the FBI under J. Edgar Hoover went after anyone deemed as a homosexual or anyone in that deviant state. So in this sense, again, okay, so a united front, what I'm getting is, okay, so within the LGBTQA community, like we have LGBTQA, like we literally have the L stands for something, the G, the B, like all that stands for something, but they're part of a community. So and you achieve more as a community. Like if the Native Americans would have bonded, or the Indigenous Americans didn't fight so much against each other and bonded together for a certain goal, is you will create more if you bond together, whether it's these ideas or people, or find a not just a companion. There's adversaries, there's enemies. Find someone who is sympathetic to. I can think of the definition. I just can't think of the word. Find someone sympathetic to your cause and create an alliance. There we go. To alliance with them. So it's telling you possibly to align yourself with other people, other institutions, other opportunities. Join a community that, instead of separating certain tasks into, it's an overall community. Don't just learn the piano, learn the guitar. Just don't major in one thing. Perhaps do a double major. And a lot of, there's some schools now that are actually requiring majors to be more interdisciplinary, because there is such a need for multidisciplinary studies or educated individuals today. So whatever it is, don't separate yourself as an individual from the whole. Make sure that you see yourself as part of the group, and that's what I'm seeing of how to get to your Three of Inspiration and what you need to align with. Thank you very much, my Virgo moons, Aquarius sun. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate and enjoy all the support. Leave a comment if you'd like. And just fast forward to the end of this. There's a short breathing meditation that'll just help realign your energy for the day to come. Love and light. All right, thank you very much. Lastly but not leastly, my Virgo moon with Pisces sun. We asked Spirit as I was shuffling out the cards, what do we need to align in order to get to this 3 of inspiration? Now, you have the 6 of Pentacles, Ada Lovelace, 6 of Pentacles. I do not remember her story at all. I'm going to pause the video. I'll be back. Okay, you're going to notice a cut there because I had to read her story real quick. Ada Lovelace, I did not know. She was a mathematician. She came from a very wealthy family, and her mother, in lieu of creating a relationship with her daughter, basically threw her into private studies, teaching her how to be a mathematician, so she didn't end up like her father, who she had divorced. And she ended up being a brilliant young woman who, whose writing helped establish kind of the modern technological renaissance, like talking about computers and airplanes, like modeling how to build airplanes and stuff before they were even invented. Now, this could say what needs to be in line for you, and is what it's saying, in order to reap your 3 of inspiration, is you need to start sharing your ideas. You've had plenty of good ideas during this time of contemplation and resolution and healing, that it is time to put forth those ideas. Now, some of you may be deciding, because there were choice cards in here, which idea is the right idea. And I would say all of them are the right idea. It's just understanding the value of all of them, because all of them don't need to be picked up, but by sharing them, someone could be inspired by one of them or more of them, and you could end up finding a new partner to write a play, a movie, start a company, form a relationship. There could be plenty of opportunities to piggyback off of each other, as long as you start sharing your ideas. And this could just be like starting a club, or having a hobby, like I've really been missing this aspect of my life, and I want to start, connecting to it. Is somebody willing to do that too? I like tarot. Does anybody else? Do we want to meet once a week and talk about the stars? I'm not sure what it is, but what it is that you need to align your life with is now going from this silent period, this self inclusion or period, to a more external outgoing. Now, the 6 of Pentacles isn't really an outgoing card by any means. It is still just, it is an earth element. But it is like, if you have been wishing for something, this is like pre-Queen of Pentacles energy, or it's having asked for something, and it could be wish fulfillment, like finally you have all these ideas. Like, you asked for all these ideas. You asked for help in resolving this problem. Like, you asked for help understanding why you were in isolation, why you had to fight these battles. And now you have all these answers that you need to share with people. So aligning your life is being the time of proactivity. It's very similar also to this, it's time, to be actionable about your things. All right. Sharing them. It's all about sharing. You never know who that could be with either. Just be careful of knowing who your enemies are. Like I said, there is still this person out there for someone. Someone's bullying you, or someone's literally following you, or stalking you online. So be wary. There's someone out there to scam you. So be wary, but share your ideas. That's not a reason to stop yourself from sharing your ideas. Thank you very much. Virgo moon, Pisces sun. I appreciate all the support. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. And right after this is a short meditation that'll just help, breathing exercise that'll help rejuvenate you. So stick around to the end. Love and light. Now take a deep breath. In deep, pure, clear, purifying energy. Pure white yourself and focusing on the sounds.